I Don't Believe in Miracles singer C.B. Victoria, better known as Edwin Coppard, has died. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Canada. A long time ago, he was known as C.B. Victoria, which was sort of a takeoff of Victoria, BC, with Come and See My Man and I Don't Believe in Miracles. And I have maybe 4 copies of this album, which is very, very hard to find. But I remember back in the day they used to say, and the DJs were saying this, and I was a big Elton John fan, so I paid attention when they said CB Victoria sounds more like Elton John than Elton John does, which on some levels was unfair because they were both Brits, but I always thought there was a certain distinctive vulnerability and a different feel of how comfortable he was in his body. I mean, he went on to form groups and inspiring other singers to find their own voice after that, doing something that was, I think, way more important to him than being a rock star, even though that was a large part of who he was. He opened up for Anthony Robbins for 10 years, and he invented this thing called the hero's voice. Folks going on stage and being afraid, thinking maybe their message was diluted or not real or they were imposters. It was Edwin who basically helped them find that voice and to stand on both legs, confident, real, in your body, and imagining a good outcome to whatever the heck you're doing on stage. A message was posted on his Facebook page today that read, "It is with the deepest sadness and heart-wrenching sorrow that the family announces the sudden passing of our Edwin. He passed away suddenly in Japan while doing what he loved, surrounded by longtime and beloved associates, students, and friends." Edwin moved to Canada as a kid from Kingston-upon-Thames, England. He attended high school in East Vancouver and quickly got back into music. In '65, there was the Deacons, his band, which evolved into the Hollywood Shockers, then turned into the Shockers. That band would win Battle of the Bands at the P.N.E. in 1966. In '68, he was in a new group called Penny Whistle, and by 1970, there was another band called Trilogy. He came to national stardom for the first time with Come and See My Man in 1975, the winter of '75, which kind of went into 1976. The following year, though, is when I stopped in my tracks when I heard I Don't Believe in Miracles, all about a breakup. And as mentioned earlier, there was a certain vulnerability to the way he sang. You know, that old thing where you hear a singer and you go, you know, I believe him. I'm right there in that journey with that person. And I was very sad when, to me at least, he disappeared from the face of the earth. Until I found him on Facebook a few years ago, friended him with the intention of interviewing him. I spent my life doing and researching Canadian music, which I love so much. I syndicated a show where I played Edwin called the Cross Canada Report across this country. I think it was aired at 43 stations at one point. And I loved celebrating artists like him. He was a typical Where Are They Now? But if you look up CB Victoria, you're going to find Edwin Coppard, who's a totally different guy in some ways and not so much. I Don't Believe in Miracles peaked everywhere around the country on various radio stations between number 10 and number 20 on the charts. The tune was written by another Brit, Russ Ballard, who was in the band Argent with Rod Argent of the Zombies. In fact, Zombies lead singer Colin Blunstone also recorded I Don't Believe in Miracles. Look it up on YouTube, it's there. Ballard, of course, would go on to write songs for Three Dog Night, Hot Chocolate, Santana, America, among many others. On Coppard's website, he talks about that hero's voice, and he says, what is it? It's what will get you. Clarity of your message, purity in your voice, influence and impact over your audience, transformational confidence in your speech, deep motivation to continue your mission, unwavering to anything else. He wrote, can you imagine your audience roaring for an encore? This is the kind of stuff. And I talk to a lot of artists. I mean, in 35 years in radio, I've talked to a lot of people. And stage fright is a thing that comes up all the time. Imagine someone like Edwin basically getting that out of the way so you could shine, whatever message you had. He was a really, really special man. And I'm so sorry that I didn't get that interview. I didn't even ask him. I just friended him, and I'm so busy doing my YouTube videos and all the channels that I have that I forgot, and I feel bad for that. I was going out tonight, and I canceled my plans when I found out he had passed. I went, the least I could do is do sort of a tip of the hat to CB Victoria, Edwin Coppard. This is an unbelievable album if you can find it. There's not a bad track on it. Edwin wrote the majority of the songs on here, I think about 60%. Well produced. I Don't Believe in Miracles has this big symphonic, almost Paul Buckmaster orchestral feel in it that makes it so incredibly special, which of course Paul Buckmaster with Elton John. But it's strange that at least this incarnation of his life disappeared, because I thought this guy was going to be huge. He ended up being huge in a whole other way, maybe a way that fulfilled him a lot more. May he rest in peace. We don't have an age. If someone knows how old he was, please let me know, and we'll put it in the description of this video. He was really a great man. May he rest in peace. I'm John Bowden. This is a new channel. Make sure you subscribe. We're connected to our other big channel, which is Rock History Music, but this is brand new. We've got tons of Canadian interviews we're going to put on here and do what we did with Edwin. A lot of celebrations of great people and great music. Make sure you comment on our video, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Bowden from Rock History Canada.